You can put lip stuff on, doesn't matter. We're whatever. You want to freshen up?
No.
Okay.
It's too late now.
Well, hi.
Good
Hi,
morning.
friends. Here today this morning with my good friend Tina Lim with National Home Warranty, and I wanted to talk to Tina today about this R22 ban and just what does that mean? There's a lot of talk about it, and what does that mean for property owners? So hey, good morning, guys. Michael, can you hear us? Can you just make sure to give us a thumbs up if you can hear us? Don't want to get started if the audio is not working this morning. So Tina, what is this R22 ban? What does this mean?
So the United States, Canada, and a couple other countries entered into an agreement in 1986, actually, called the Montreal Protocol, where they agreed that R22, or Freon, as it's commonly known, contains hydrochlorofluorocarbons that were damaging to the ozone. So they instituted a gradual scale back of R22 that came into full effect on January 1.
This year.
And so the gradual scale back included manufacturers having to develop, or chemists trying to develop another refrigerant that did not contain any damaging ozone ingredients, and that worked on current air conditioning units. And so they came out with a couple, but they didn't get as cold as the Freon did, the R22. So the one that they've settled on, commonly called 410A, or you'll hear that more than R22 over the next few years, it's not compatible in units that run on R22. If you mix the two, then it creates an acidic environment inside the air conditioner that deteriorates the components of the air conditioner. So that means everybody that has an air conditioning unit that runs on R22 is going to eventually have to replace it with a new one.
Eventually.
Now,
it doesn't mean that right now you have to replace your unit. What it means is that they are no longer able to manufacture the R22 in the United States, so there's only a limited amount of this.
They haven't been able to manufacture it for about 5 years already.
Oh, okay.
So air conditioning contractors have been sending off the R22 that they had, that they reclaimed from units, sending it off to get it cleaned and then buying it back. So basically everybody's been using recycled R22 or Freon for the last 5 years. So that can no longer be done anymore. It can no longer be purchased. So when you're buying it back from the company that was cleaning it, you can't do that anymore.
Okay.
So the supply of R22 that's on hand is finite.
All that's going to be.
Right?
Yep.
So, anyway.
So you had mentioned that you cannot mix a unit that has been using the R22 for all these years and now put in the 410A, and otherwise there'll be issues. Have you guys been seeing that happening?
We have for the last few years.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not that your unit won't run, but eventually there will be no more Freon to put into the units, and then you'll have to get a unit that can run the new Freon.
Yeah, there won't be the Freon available to recharge the unit. And not all units evaporate or eliminate or lose R22, but over time you usually need a recharge because enough of it dissipates that you have to reboost it.
Yeah.
Right? So air conditioning contractors are looking at it a little differently. Some contractors are saying, hey, if you need any kind of repair on your unit that runs on R22, they'll just sell you a new unit because they're not going to do a repair. We are not quite as aggressive as that. We do have a supply of R22 for our home warranty customers. However, we are looking at it that if that unit is over at least 20 years old, and we might this summer do 15 years, I'm not sure, we haven't had that conversation yet, or at least if it's been had, I haven't been privy to it, right? But last year we set a limit at 25 years. knowing that the average life expectancy of an air conditioner in the desert is 15 years.
At the best.
Right?
Usually.
At about 15 years.
Yeah.
And we've had clients all along since I started with the company that had 40-year-old units. And you got to think that, or you got to know that home warranty pays to fix things that break down. And if it can be fixed, it's not usually replaced, right? So things can still be fixed because parts are still available, but the refrigerant is going to be a dwindling supply, right?
Yeah.
So this past summer, we set a limit at 25 years. If a client needed a major repair on their unit, that meant they needed a compressor, because compressor changeout needs a new flush of R22. So if they needed a new compressor with R22, then instead of putting that money into an older unit, we were going to offer that customer cash out for the cost of repairs. So say, for example, it cost us $1,000 to do that repair for that customer. We were going to offer that customer that $1,000. They could take that money to any other licensed contractor to do the work, and then we would continue to warranty it, right? Or we gave them the option, if they wanted to replace the unit, we were going to offer them a new unit at a smoking price, and they could apply that $1,000 against it to further discount it. Knowing also that our monthly expenses are already covered with home warranty, so we didn't have to charge through the nose for air conditioning.
I was gonna say,
like so many contractors.
Yeah, your policies aren't
Yeah.
even $1,000, so
Yeah.
I mean that's
Yeah.
like a generous offer.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers asked a question.
Yeah.
So, like with car air conditioners, they can be converted. They can't convert these older units
No.
to. They can't do
No.
anything like that.
The automotive industry went through a change in refrigerant for air conditioning in the 90s. So it's just now hitting the residential market
they were way
in a big way. Yeah.
They jumped on it early.
Right. So if you bought a home, the new 410A air conditioning units started to be manufactured in 2010. So if you look at the age of your home and you say, well, I bought it in 2011, it's got to run on the new stuff. Not necessarily. Builders buy air conditioning units and water heaters in mass and warehouse them. So it's not necessarily the oldest one in is the first one out. So there are homes in the valley that have been built 2010, 2011, and I saw a couple from 2012 that have units that run on R22. So know that, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So I felt like this was important information to share with people because you're not an HVAC expert necessarily, but
Right.
you do home warranties, and your company not only has home warranties, but you also service your customers. You don't contract out with other vendors.
We do air conditioning, heating, and plumbing in-house. When we got started as a home warranty company in 1986, we got started by a contractor. He was doing work for other warranty companies and not liking how the customer experience was going.
That's always
So,
the complaint
right?
about home warranties is customer service.
He started National Home Warranty, and we still use that contractor for about 70% of claims. That includes heating, air conditioning, and plumbing.
Okay, so you guys are a general contractor as well.
We are.
Yeah.
We are.
I had a couple of notes here just about, but you had just covered a couple of my questions. Oh, so what if there's a major repair that National Home Warranty, like an HVAC system, that you don't just fix, but they need it replaced? What if people need to finance that? Do you guys finance that? Do you have
We do.
solutions around?
We do. We use Synchrony Bank, which I think RC Willie uses them. Discount Tire does. They offer an 18-month same as cash financing program.
Okay.
So you can use some of the savings from your energy bill to offset that payment.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And I saw that on some of your marketing. The new units decrease your bill up to 30%. That's amazing.
And some people with a unit that's 40 years old, it's going to save them even more than that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Three years ago, I had a new system put in, and it definitely was so much more efficient. The thing is a monster.
They're
The
bigger.
unit is
They're
huge,
bigger,
but
yeah.
it was my power bills were much cheaper. So let's talk about new home construction home warranty, because I was looking at your pamphlet, and as many times what I love about Tina is I can just shoot her an email or a text, and she's a direct contact. She takes care of everything. She'll put a home warranty on a property for me, make sure it gets billed properly. It's just one stop. When you know somebody at the company, she takes care of everything. And thank you for that. The customer service is top notch. But something about 24-hour response, does that mean you can call on the weekend and you'll get somebody out? How does that work?
Our office hours are 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. I think it is. I think it's 9 in the morning. Might be 8 till 4 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So we answer the phones live in the office, right upstairs from where we are, between those hours. When we're not open, we do have a live answering service, and they know what things are constituted an emergency, so that they can get a plumber on the line to call the client or whatever, help shut off the water. If they can't get the water shut off at 2 in the morning, they'll go out there.
If it's a real emergency.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So the 24-hour service that you're seeing on our brochure is, we have a premium plan that includes that will have a technician on the doorstep at that home within 24 hours of filing a heating, plumbing, or air conditioning claim.
That's nice.
So that's what that is.
Okay.
That's a 24-hour guarantee.
That's nice. And that's for the premium.
We don't black out any holidays. It's 365 days a year.
Okay, so that's for the premium. Okay,
Right.
service. You know, I've been using Tina for years, and I just realized you had a rekey option.
We do.
I didn't know that. And it's part of the essential. You don't even have to pay extra for that. It's part of the
Right.
essential package. Do you
right.
pay a service call?
You do.
Okay.
You do. And it includes rekeying up to 4 keyholes, and you'll get 2 keys for each one. If you have more than that, some people have 5 or 6 keyholes that they want rekeyed. They just work out that difference with the locksmith who comes out.
Perfect.
But the policy will pay for, with 1 copay, up to 4.
I love that. And also pest control.
Yes,
That's included in the essential as well.
it is.
I
For the
love
cost of a copay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the most efficient way to get pest control done, because a lot of companies, if you have a regular service, it's less than the $75.
But if you're first moving into a house,
Yes.
and you want to just get a once over,
Yes.
I think it's
Yeah, and a lot of property managers use it because they include in their lease that they'll do one pest control service a year. So a lot of them use it as well. But it doesn't cover anything flying. It covers
Sure.
things crawling, not scorpions or pigeons or German roaches or bed bugs. It doesn't cover anything
what is
wild.
a German roach? I read that.
I had somebody tell me they're really hard to get rid of, and I'm like, I don't know
Ew,
that I
I
recognize
don't even
them.
want to know what it is.
Right? Me neither.
Yuck. Yeah.
Me neither. Yeah.
And then another garage door opener. I know some other home warranty companies. Those are addition.
Right.
That's in the essential
We include
package.
that, right.
Yeah.
We can cover all the mechanics that make the door go up and down on all of our plans. Our essentials package includes just that, all the mechanics, including the opener. The enhanced and premium packages also include the remote
Mhm.
and the keypad entry on the door.
Okay.
So, and I used to think, well, if the remote goes bad, it's just a new battery. Until I put a new battery in my remote,
It didn't work.
and it fried the motherboard.
Oh.
So then
ouch.
the new motherboard wouldn't work with my old remote.
Well-
So on the premium plan, it includes the new remote.
Okay. Tell me about the maintenance, the HVAC and plumbing maintenance. What is that? That's included in the
HVAC
premium plan.
Right, those are once a year service call fees that do not have a trade call fee. The HVAC maintenance is servicing the air conditioning unit, clean the coils, tighten the screw that vibrate or through the fan or through the compressor
coil.
running, that fan running.
Uh-huh.
The screw holding that fan blade down comes loose about a quarter turn every year. So if you're not doing your seasonal maintenance several years in a row, you could end up needing a new compressor because the fan blade comes loose and turns it up,
Interesting.
right?
Interesting.
So, and they actually open it up and get rid of all the debris, the leaves and stuff that's accumulated on the inside of the unit.
That seems like an important.
Check all the components to make sure they're amping correctly. But the good thing about it is if they find that there's a problem, then normally home warranty coverage pays for things that fail. Not things that are going to fail,
Yeah.
but things that have failed. So, but when you're using the maintenance, then proactively, you get things repaired early. You don't have to wait for it to fail.
So if they come out with a premium plan, do a service on my HVAC system, find something wrong, I don't have to pay another service fee.
You do have to pay the service fee because then you have a claim.
Okay.
But it's not another service fee because you didn't pay the service fee to have the maintenance done.
Got it. Okay.
Right.
So anytime there's a claim, there's a service. There's a service.
Correct.
Fee. Or anytime anybody comes out, there's a service fee.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then the plumbing maintenance plan, the same thing. They come out.
Drain the water heater.
That's important.
Check underneath.
Nobody does that.
Right? Not here. When I lived in Colorado, it seemed like everybody did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But here we're noticing people don't do that.
Yeah.
I think it's just our lives are 24/7 and they're busy.
Yeah.
Right? So we drain the water heater and we check water pressures and that kind of thing and make sure there's no leaks under the sinks. We're finding, and I've spoken with a few insurance brokers as well, who said their clients also don't see that there's a leak under the sink until it comes out on the floor. So we're trying to prevent some of that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Or until people move and they pull everything out, and then they realize there's a leak under there.
Yeah. So we're trying to prevent some of that.
That's a good addition. I had just been marking up the brochure. You know, I was like, oh,
it's all good.
New home construction.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk everything. 1 year. You can so if a buyer of new home construction purchases a home warranty at the time of they purchase of their new home, or can they do it after the 1 year?
Up to 10 months.
Okay.
So while they still have the builder top to bottom coverage, they can get a new home warranty with us that lasts for 4 years that costs less than the normal price of 2 years.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That I just realized that you offered that. So additional coverage things would be like adding on a pool and spa equipment,
washer, dryer, kitchen fridge, you can add in
all of that. So well pump, septic tank system. So depending on what kind of property it is, you can add those things on if needed.
Yeah. We're coming out with actually it's at the insurance division for approval right now, but the plans for us in the next few months are to, or hopefully the next few weeks if with any luck, right, are to add an optional coverage to help with the sewer line repair.
From the house
to the street or house to the curb or whatever. And also we're going to change our premium plan to have a zero copay, so there won't be a fee for a claim.
Wow.
Just on our premium plan.
So anybody that has a premium plan now, if that changes,
they would have to convert to the new premium plan if they want.
Okay.
Yeah. But they can do that. They don't have to wait till their renewal to do it.
And so I have a question. I send a lot of my clients, give them the options, but you know, a lot of people do choose you. Do you guys send a renewal reminder for them? Yeah.
We do.
I'm sure you do.
We have a whole renewal team upstairs.
Okay, so they make sure that they know of their options.
Of course.
Okay. Let's talk about whatever it takes parts and labor warranty. Like
That's when we sell a new air conditioning unit. It includes a 10-year 10-year parts warranty with the manufacturer. So we use Lennox equipment. So Lennox will guarantee the parts for 10 years. If you keep home warranty on it for the whole 10 years, then you've also got the labor warranty. So that's your 10-year parts and labor. The first year warranty we include in the price of the air conditioner, because our agreement with Lennox is to sell air conditioning units only to our customers.
Okay.
So if somebody's not already a customer, we make them a customer.
I see.
Yeah.
Elena, yes, this is the home warranty company that you got for.
Hi, Elena.
Yep. She, Maria Pastor and Rudy.
Yes.
They just got their home warranty on one of their properties. Yes. So, Elena, this is Tina. This is who you will talk to. If you need anything, she's great. If you have any questions too, she's a great person to answer any questions. So I think we covered a lot today. We've had this conversation some months ago, actually, but I think that
we had no
the speaker went out or something halfway through, but that's how it goes. That happens. But this is, and that was a while ago, actually. So we're in 2020. The ban on the R22 is in effect. And if you guys have any questions, just even if you don't have a home warranty with Tina or National Home Warranty, but have questions, call her.
Feel free.
Yeah,
Feel free.
because Tina is not only somebody that sells home warranties. We're in the industry together, but I trust her, and she's somebody that is a wealth of knowledge and that will steer us in the right direction. If she can't help, she can. We know people. Eventually,
Right.
there's somebody we can connect you with, depending on what questions you have.
And if you have a question about your particular air conditioning unit, take a photo of the sticker on the outside of the compressor that's outside. Usually they're on the ground. Some of them are on the roof. Don't go on the roof. But
Don't go on the roof.
don't go on the roof. But but take a photo of that and text it to Kristen.
Yeah.
You can send it to me or text it straight to me, and I'll tell you what you've got. And if you're looking at replacing the unit or just want to know what the options are, to get a heads up so you can start saving for it, if that's what
Exactly.
you want to do, then call me and I'll give you that pricing as well.
And that's what I wanted to talk to you about today, was just options. With all of this information out there, what are people's options? Who do I call? What do I do? Do I have to replace it? It's not necessarily that you have to replace it, but
Right.
just know when you do have an issue, and in our hot summers we have issues,
We do.
but what are you going to do about it? And this is who you call. And maybe it's time to put a good home warranty on your home if you don't already have one, or renew the one that you have, or switch over to Tina, just to prevent to get ready, because it does
Right.
happen.
It does.
I always, my dad's a retired HVAC guy, so I get air filters for Christmas.
Do you really? That's funny.
Boxes
Here's
of
the thing
them,
about
like,
air
you
filters,
know.
right? So he probably doesn't give you those thick ones that accumulate 99.9% of pollens and all that, right?
Probably not.
So, and don't
No,
use
just-
those.
Yeah, just the ones that get replaced every.
Yeah, I used to
3
use
months.
those heavy-duty 3M ones that trap, like I said, 99.9% of everything. What those do is they don't allow enough airflow for the compressor, so the compressor has to work that much harder. So it's recommended by HVAC techs to use one that has a MERV number. There's on the side of the frame of the filter, there's something called a MERV, M-E-R-V number, that you want to have less than 10, preferably around 7.
I didn't know
So
that.
otherwise they have to work too hard, and the ones that I had were like 22. I was like, oops.
Well, it makes it
Yeah.
work a lot
So,
harder. I mean, the
right,
idea is
yeah.
good that it catches everything, but
But if it has to work harder,
there's no airflow.
so on those I only had to replace every 3 months. The other ones you have to replace them every month, but because they make your air conditioning unit work more efficiently, they're less expensive in the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always write the date on it, because I'll forget
Yeah.
when I did it, and then I'll look up there and say, oh yeah, so, but yeah, my dad's funny. He'll call me, did you change your air filter?
That's funny.
No, Dad, can you come over and do it for me?
Well, that's a good reason though to get your air conditioning claim denied is not changing filters.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
always a good idea to change those.
And if
right?
you have a rental, make sure even if you can't put that really necessarily on the renter, because if they don't do it, it's still your expense.
Right.
I would either hire a company to maintenance it, or go over there every month, make sure it's done.
Pick up the rent check and change it.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Anything else you want to cover that we didn't talk about necessarily?
My phone number, if you've got any questions, 702-767-0568.
And we'll put your information in the comments too. Elena, Lisa can get a home warranty from this company. Yes, she can, actually. I don't know if you guys already have one, but I'll talk to her about that as well. Shoot her over the information. And like I say, Tina's contact information will be down in the comments below. But yeah, I thank you for talking about options today. I think it's a lot of confusing information out there. People are like, what does that mean? What are we going to do? There's still the available Freon out there. However, in the long run, and I've been listing houses recently. They're like, oh, we replaced the unit in the last 5 years. Doesn't necessarily mean it was the new
410A unit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can definitely still be an old unit. So
some contractors were selling refurbished units. So I had a client ask me last summer, to get to that price, are you selling me a refurbished unit? And I said, no, it's a brand new Lennox equipment that we sell. And he's like, oh, sign me up now. Another contractor had quoted him, and to justify their high price had told him that we were must be selling refurbished units because there was no way we could do it at that price.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
Interesting. Well,
check before you buy.
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
all.
Yeah,
That's
and always get more than one opinion.
Right.
Always.
Right.
So Tina's another option for you guys. But thank you.
Of
I
course.
appreciate you.
Thank
It's good
you.
to see you. Happy
I know,
New
right?
Year.
Right?
I haven't seen you in a
Thank
couple
you.
months,
I know.
and I'm sorry
I
my
know.
schedule was kind of
It's
crazy
okay.
the last couple weeks.
We're both busy. It's all
We're
good.
like, how's this day? How's that day?
I know. Yeah.
Darn it, I'm busy.
It is. We made it work.
I know.
We made it work.
Thank you.
It's good.
Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
everybody.
All right, have a great day, guys.